A new IRS whistleblower enters the game alleging a senior Biden official is lying about the Hunter Biden investigation. Now, we didn't know who that senior official was, but apparently it's Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the United States. That's a pretty big surprise. We heard them say senior official, but there are a lot of senior officials. The fact that it might be the top law enforcement officer of the whole country, the Attorney General of the United States, in the president's cabinet, responsible for the operation of the entire Justice Department, it's a big deal. New York Post brought this over. They tell us that Attorney General Merrick Garland is the senior Biden official in the Hunter Biden IRS whistleblower claim. That's a big claim. And the claim from the whistleblower was that he literally lied to Congress. Merrick Garland is the unnamed official. Longtime IRS employee wants to provide information to congressional leaders to contradict sworn testimony by a senior political appointee. Now, we read that. We said, who is this person? Garland now. The whistleblower already made the disclosures to the Treasury and Justice Departments. However, due to a quirk of the law, he needs congressional approval to more fully describe the allegations. Garland has repeatedly claimed under oath that Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss, who they call a Trump administration holdover, is able to criminally charge Hunter Biden without the permission of the DOJ. Garland told Bill Hagerty in April 2022, there will not be interference of any political or improper kind. People are asking themselves, that's strange, because we know that Merrick Garland reports to Joe Biden. Joe Biden's son is under investigation by Merrick Garland's Department of Justice. So that feels a little bit like it's a conflict of interest. Ordinarily, you'd bring in a special counsel when there's a conflict of interest, but this is just the president's son. And Merrick Garland is saying, I'm honest, and I'm going to make sure there's nothing here happening that's inappropriate. Chuck Grassley also pressed Merrick Garland over Weiss was truly able to bring charges. Are you sure? You can just allow one of your attorneys to indict the president's son, your boss's son, without talking to you? That's weird. They said in April 2022, you testified to Senator Hagerty that the Hunter Biden investigation was insulated from political interference because it was assigned, as you just told me now, to the Delaware office. But that could be misleading. Without special counsel authority, he could need permission of another U.S. attorney to bring charges outside of Delaware, right? Garland said, no, that's not how this works. No, he said he can charge Hunter Biden for crimes anywhere. He says the U.S. attorney in Delaware has been advised that he has the full authority to take those kinds of referrals that you're talking about or bring cases. And I'll assure you that if he decides to do that, he'll be able to do that. So Merrick Garland would be a big name to have been caught in a lie. Here is how the White House reacted to this.
Supervisory special agent, our reporting is now claiming to have information about alleged mishandling and political interference in the ongoing criminal probe of Hunter Biden. That person is seeking whistleblower protection to share information with Congress, according to this letter obtained by CNN. Our Sarah Murray just gave our viewers that reporting, and I just wonder if the White House has a comment.
Well, right now, as you know, we've been very clear to not comment on anything related to any type of investigation. So that is something that we have been very, very diligent about, and referring that to the Department of Justice.
Yeah, IRS.
Very diligent about not talking about the things they don't want to talk about, because there are a lot of investigations now going on. We also saw that Jim Jordan and the Judiciary Committee have a lot of questions for Secretary of State Antony Blinken for his involvement in the 51 so-called intelligence experts signing a letter. And now Attorney General Merrick Garland is also under investigation, or will be very soon, for his potential lies to Congress. You can see why the White House doesn't want to talk about it. Fox News has more. They've got more details. The White House says no political interference in the Hunter Biden probe after the IRS whistleblower came forward. They dismissed the allegations. They said that this investigation is free from any political interference at all. White House spokesman called Ian Sams said since Biden took office, and consistent with his campaign promise, President Biden has made it clear that this would be handled independently by the Justice Department under the leadership of a U.S. attorney appointed by former President Trump. Now, they keep saying this line. It's such a stupid line. Appointed by former President Trump. But if you go take a look at David Weiss, which we have here, he has been in the U.S. Attorney's Office for a very long time. Started in 2007. Trump wasn't the president then. Became the first assistant United States attorney. Became interim U.S. attorney previously, 2009 to 2011. Again, Trump was not in office then. 1986, served as a prosecutor, white-collar crimes, became a commercial litigation executive at another firm, but then got nominated back to U.S. attorney. You see that even before that, he was working under Barack Obama from 2009 to 2011. But then he got appointed back up to the U.S. attorney under Trump. And so they keep acting like that makes this guy a Trump acolyte or something. Like that means that David Weiss is a neutral figure who's going to give this case a fair shake. I'm not saying that he's not, but I'm just saying they are framing it that way. They're saying he's a former Trumper appointed by Trump. That means that he is going to prosecute Hunter? It's not related, but they try to make it related, to make it feel like this is proper because it's a Trump appointee. Free from any political interference, and he's upheld that commitment. But the comment came after an IRS criminal supervisory agent seeking the protections said the investigation into Hunter is being mishandled. The whistleblower is claiming there is clear conflicts of interest, including giving the president's son preferential treatment, saying politics are improperly infecting decisions and protocols that would normally be followed by career law enforcement professionals in similar circumstances. But Hunter gets all sorts of special privileges, been under investigation for a long time. And now federal prosecutors say they have considered 4 possible charges against Hunter. There is Hunter. The story came out from NBC. They tell us federal prosecutors have considered charging Hunter Biden with 3 tax crimes and a charge related to a gun purchase, which would just be some of the most benign charges they could possibly come up with. The possible charges are 2 misdemeanor counts for failure to file taxes, okay, and a single count of tax evasion related to a business expense for 1 year of taxes, and a gun charge, also a potential felony. Absolute minimal nothingness relative to all of the other potential criminality that him and his daddy and his family were all involved in. 2 senior law enforcement sources told NBC News about growing frustration, inside the FBI because investigators finished their work on the case about a year ago. But a senior law enforcement source said the IRS finished its investigation more than a year ago as well. Washington Post previously reported that federal investigators believe they had gathered enough evidence to charge Hunter, but the decision to file these will be made by David Weiss. Again, copy and pasted journos, who was appointed by President Trump and retained by Biden. Right? There are no indications that a final decision has been made. Why do you think Biden retained him? Because he's a pit bull who's going to go after his son? No, of course not. There are no indications a final decision has been made, said the 2 sources familiar with the matter. So the investigation will continue. There's obviously been smoke around this for a long time. Republicans now have a lot of more smoke. They have evidence that the Biden campaign was involved in covering up stories about the Hunter Biden laptop. We've got Anthony Blinken, who is getting questions about that. Merrick Garland may be the person who lied to Congress about the state of the investigation. And now an IRS whistleblower is out confirming the same. And so this story will continue to percolate, and we'll see what it uncovers.